Indeed. And greetings upon you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you so much for joining me here again, for taking action. For taking action, friend. I appreciate you so much for doing that. Thank you. I see you. I appreciate you for doing that. It's so nice to have you here. Jobot, new little snoo. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Pippi just went and, inspected whatever UD is up to. He was scratching on the grass and then dropping in whatever he was just scratching and then rolling around in it. So I hope Pippi doesn't get any ideas. Poppers, Mal, Ninja Peacher, thank you for joining me. Sorvinia, meowdy to you, friend. We've missed you. Thank you for joining me. And Shanshki, so nice to have you here again, friend, in the shade today. Wise choice. And I believe I should be in the shade for most of it. If I calculate, mathematicianize, the angle of the sun. Hopefully we'll be in the shade for most of it. Hey Lisa, thank you for joining me, my friend. And again, thank you for reaching out to me. It was so nice to have that. Gode, hope is it. Nice to have you here, Brother Bay and Ryan. Such a pleasure having all of you friends here today. I want to preface today's topic with a, I don't know if it's a trigger warning, if it's a not as instruction, if you will. Like it's a very touchy topic, very very much so, because it's something that we have to confront ourselves with and ask ourselves about. And I would like to say before we start talking about this topic as well, that today was a day of extreme inaction for me. Maybe not extreme inaction. You know what? Yeah, in fact, it was extreme inaction. I was very tired, so I spent a lot of it resting, and that's okay, especially with what's going on in the world right now. That's okay as well. But the message, the understanding that I want to bring to you, friends, today, or maybe just I want to stimulate, as a conversational topic for us to feel into, is this understanding of action and inaction in our lives, and how action versus inaction serves us or doesn't serve us in the context of discomfort. Like it's impossible for us to experience absolutely no discomfort. One of our main drivers is discomfort, and we move into the directions we do. We do the things we do because of discomfort usually, but it can also be very related to our actions or our inactions, if you will. Jem, so nice to have you here. Ninja Nanner, hope you're feeling well in this moment. This moment feels pretty well to me, Brother Bay. Even more so now that you're here. Thank you for joining us. Been busy working, Mel. Couldn't be here. No apologies necessary, Servinia. I just want you to know that we've missed you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Come join me. I'm just getting started. It's just getting started already. Are you my guru? Solving nothing. I mean, dude, I don't consider myself a guru. I consider myself a friend. And I had this conversation with a friend of mine as well, Ryan, who's in chat right now, where we were talking about, spiritual leaders or gurus or yogis. And something very beautiful that he said to me is that a guru is no more and no less than a friend. And what the word friend means to me, I don't know if you heard, but at the start of the stream, I address you friends in the exact same way every single stream, where I say, indeed, and greetings upon you, beloved and holy friends. And I say it that way for a reason. Maybe I actually have it like written down here, just so I can give you a at least kind of annotated reason as to why I say it that way. At the crux of it, fundamentally, I call you friend because I consider a friend, and here it goes, one not lesser than myself. A friend is one who walks in perfect equality with the grandest of masters. A friend is one who looks upon another and sees only the face of Christ therein. You are a friend. I am a friend to you. Because indeed, being there are no other options. Indeed, indeed. Greetings upon you, salutations to the one created of the Father, the universe. Before all things, for I bow down before your radiance. Indeed, and greetings upon you, beloved, a beloved of God, and every molecule in your physical universe, loved by our holy Mother Earth. Holy because you are whole, not because you earned that holiness, but because it is that which is the truth, from which you are extended forth forever, because you are made in the image of God. Friend, one not lesser than myself, a friend is one who walks in perfect equality with the grandest of masters. A friend is one who looks upon another and sees only the face of Christ therein. I look upon you and I call you friend. Thank you for joining me, friend. It's so nice to have you here. We share perspective in this space. We share understanding, we share love, we share ideas. And instead of pretending like these ideas are infallible, like these ideas are the only thing that you can take away from them, we share these ideas so that we can grow in our understanding of ourselves by bringing these messages into our hearts and allowing ourselves to feel into them. We discover more about ourselves, and the more we discover about ourselves, the more we grow, the more we grow, the more we're capable of giving back to this world, friend. Thank you for joining me. No one do like you do. Accomplished boss. Thank you. Thank you for joining me, friend. It's nice to have you here. Nobody has to do like I do, because you do like you do, friend. And if we didn't do it that way, then there would be a lack in this universe as well. I genuinely believe that every single one of us plays a role, plays a part in this, experience. And if I was to not play my role, if I wasn't to play my part, then there would be a lack within this infinite, unlackable universe, if you will. Having the worst morning. Please send well wishes, my Melt fam, to you friends here in the Reddit chat. If you have some energy to muster, please do send it to Diana. I see a massive, nuclear mushroom cloud unfurling. Shockwaves absolutely wrecking things. Maybe that's an analogy for the morning that you've had so far, Diane. I hope it gets better, my friend. I hope, if anything, the radioactive fungi start eating all of that radioactive particles, growing even faster. I hope your morning gets a lot better, my friend. What's been going on? Anything particular happen? You just woke up feeling a little bit, off? We're here with you if you have anything to share with us. 110-kilometer winds for us today. We had some crazy winds like a few hours ago, to the point where it was like shaking the windows, and the dogs got all riled up. They were like, what the fuck's going on? And it like slammed doors, and the keys went flying, and I was like, okay, Mother Earth, I see. I see the power. I am humble. I hope that you don't get, caught in the wind, Ninja Peach. Stay inside, my friend. Like 100 and yo, that's fast. Can't you like lean against those kind of winds? I've always wanted to do that, interestingly enough. Excited. I find myself walking a line between encouraging myself to take those days of inaction for rest of mind and body, and enabling myself to be stagnant to the effort it can take to get where I want in the days when I do have energy. And I feel that so completely, Isaac. And thank you for being willing to share that. In this context of comfort versus discomfort, the message I want to bring today into all of our hearts, and I'm addressing myself in it, as I do every single day as well, is inaction versus action can be akin to what we want in this life. Where if we are constantly in a state of inaction, it might be comfortable to do so, in a physical way. For instance, oh, I should be getting 15 minutes of exercise in, or 15 minutes of yoga in. But then you're in your bed and you're so comfy, and in that moment, that comfort can be an instigator to not, taking that action. I just want to read, Diane's words. Thank you, my love. I'm trying to parent a kid that isn't mine, and he's in a bad place. Tomorrow I need the universe to help guide the proper decision in court. Whew, Diane, thank you. Thank you for being willing to share that with me. Thank you for being willing to do that. I literally cannot even imagine how difficult that must be. I appreciate you so much for that. I'm sure you will, receive the wisdom that is necessary in every single moment. There's this mantra that I read before I go to sleep. One of my 10, manifestation pages. Like before I turn my light off, I read one of my manifestation pages, and it's in every single moment, I receive the wisdom that I need in that moment. In every single moment, I receive the wisdom that I need in that moment. So I manifest that for you as well, Diane. Last night, I saw hurt, broken hearted 13-year-old boy that I know can provide better for. Please pray for hope. Please pray and hope for him. I will, my friend. I'm sure what is good for him and what needs to be in his life will transpire. I love you so much, my friend. Thank you. I can't imagine how difficult that must be. Man, I feel like I'm a little bit jarred because I my mind is like, yeah, direction, and I want to be in this moment with you as well. I think I'll take 4 breaths with you. Please do take these breaths with me, friends. We love you, my friend. Action versus inaction, comfort versus discomfort. So, coming back to the train of thought I was following, because we're so comfortable in this inactive state, and breaking that inactive state is going to cause us discomfort, it can be very difficult to overcome that mindset where we know, on a very real level, that that discomfort, temporary discomfort, is going to allow us to be more comfortable in our bodies, in our understanding of ourselves, in our belief of, I did the thing that I wanted to do. And it's this very jarring paradox of constant inaction causes us long term discomfort, where current action causes us immediate discomfort. And it's very difficult for us to see it in that way, because if you start exercising, for example, and you're at the gym and you do your exercises, at the end of the day you look at yourself in the mirror, you'll see nothing. And then the next day you go and you exercise and you go and look at yourself in the mirror, you'll see nothing. And you do that day in, day out, you won't see anything. But if you continue to do that with this understanding that the discomfort I'm going through has long-term benefit, has long-term comfort-inducing effects, it is it is what's going to serve us. And it's weird because we are constantly living in this moment, and we need to sometimes do things in this moment that causes us discomfort so that we may be like less discomfort uncomfortable later in life. And I've noticed it in so many different ways, and it's this balance that we have to find. And Isaac said it very beautifully as well, where we have days where we don't have the energy to take action. And instead of, like kind of like hurting ourselves with that understanding, by allowing ourselves those inactive days as well, we can give our fullest selves to actionable days when we have the means to do so. Today, I had no energy. I didn't have the means, the capacity to be as actionable as I've wanted to be. And like even with my exercise, I've been exercising pretty much daily for the last month without taking a single break. And today my body was like, bruh, stop. You need to stop doing that, please. And I was like, okay, fine. Okay. Guess I'm not gonna be doing push-ups. And it's so crazy to me because I have this hourly alarm, that like kind of like gives me a 5-second prompt. It's just like, hey, do some push-ups. And instead of getting all of my exercises done in a single hour, I spread it out over the entire day, and that way I can manage more load. And these alarms went off. And as soon as I saw that alarm, I was like almost dropping down to do push-ups, and I was like, no, this is a day of inaction. This is a day of inaction, so you can ensure long-term comfort. because it is a temporary discomfort that I would have caused myself. But if I continue to push myself into that discomfort and my body has let me know, hey, dude, I'm uncomfortable with what you're doing, and I don't heed that understanding, then I'm going to cause myself long-term discomfort. And it's like this melting mess in my mind of action versus inaction, comfort versus discomfort, and it's very difficult for us to always, make the right decision. And we can have like option paralysis sometimes in that case as well. And I'm thinking about you, Diane. Like, this current circumstance that you're going through must be extremely uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. I can't even imagine. Imagine how uncomfortable it must be to, this 13-year-old boy as well, being in a new environment, having to take instructions from a new parent, having to, be moved away from a situation that might be uncomfortable, but is familiar. And that familiarity might be comfortable. It's so crazy. Thank you for being willing to share it with me, friend. Why do I watch these geese and wait for one of them to peck at Melty? Sarvinia, if a goose pecks me, I'm eating goose tonight. It's like, oh yeah. Nah, these gooses are chill. They won't peck me. I also have a brave little puppy, defending my honor. I should be fine. Thank you. Thank you for this moment, Melt, and every day that you've shared with us. You're a real angel and a gift. Thank you, Diane. Know that you can tap into this space even without being here. I had a conversation with Dan Poopsie yesterday, and he specifically asked me to send some of his love to you friends. Dan is doing amazingly, like genuinely amazingly. He's up for a promotion. I'm like getting teary eyed just thinking about it. He's up for a promotion, at the work he's been working at. Pippi is like conspiring to push my water over. He's up for a promotion at that job that he wanted to leave at one point, and they want to get him into a management position so that he can actually be the one giving instructions instead of having to do the things he's doing right now. He found someone. He's been, like really getting into his spiritual understanding. Some of his two of his grandparents passed away very recently, and he's found closure in that moment as well. And it's so beautiful to me to see how he's thriving, to see how he is genuinely opening up and how he's experiencing this joy. And we had this conversation in the context of me showing up every single day, how I am providing this space, I'm playing this role for us to know there is this loving energy, somewhere, someone every single day is choosing love. And even if you're not in this space, you can still think about that and still gain significance, understanding, feeling, emotion, a sense of a sense of gratitude for that energy, and it's there for you, Diane. I'm here for you, my friend, for every single one of you. I love you so much. The things we're going to be doing, continue doing, with this understanding of love is true, it genuinely brings joy to my heart. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much for choosing to take action to be here, even though it might be uncomfortable to wake up earlier. I appreciate you, friend, so much. Lisa, this is the most beautiful definition of friend. I'm so happy that you're feeling into that, Lisa. That's what I mean when I say friend. That's what I mean. That's someone I would like to walk side by side with, on the most fundamental of levels. When I say friend, someone I would like to walk side by side with, someone I would want to see thrive, someone I want to see happy, someone I would stop for if they're tying their shoelaces, someone who, if we're standing in a circle and I take active precaution, action, let's call it action since this is the topic. I take active action in doing this when someone is in a group and they try to say something and the group kind of and talks over them. I'll go straight to them and be like, you wanted to say something, friend, what was that? And I have seen someone's entire understanding of people melt away in that moment where they're like, holy shit, that exists? You can do that? And I'm like, yeah, in fact, you can. Love is true. Love is true, friends. I love you so much. Women in a van saying, when I have energy, I go 100 miles per hour until I can't, and then I rest. Action and comfort versus inaction and discomfort. Thank you for being willing to listen to yourself in that way. Ozzy! Hey, it's Dance Man. It's Ozzy 1 himself, not Ozzy 2. Not Aussie 3, not Aussie minus 1, of course not. Aussie the 1. Thank you for joining us as well, friends. Nice to have you here. Thank you for the side vote. I appreciate it, God. Thank you so much, Brother Bear. How are you doing? How's the new job? I do believe you have a new job, right? I love that. So proud that you utilize that energy. So proud of all of you friends for doing that. I've seen you friends, being willing to take action in so many different ways, so many different ways, even if it's just action in your immediate lives. It might not be action that is tangible in a way where, oh, look, I took action and this is the result of the actions I took. Even if it's just action in the small moments, action in your immediate thought of, oh, I'm limited, oh, I'm useless, oh, I'm unloved, and taking action at that moment and being like, no, in fact, I am not unloved. I am not useless. I am not limited. Thank you for taking that action as well, friends. Morning, brother. Glad to see you. Coming back to our call, I had a thought about when you said you miss doing hair for the elderly. When you thought about going to a retirement home and offering to do hair. I know you're busy as is. Just a thought. That's a beautiful thought, Ninja Nanner. I've really thought about that as well, but not doing hair. Man, do I want to say this? You know what? I'm just gonna swap the letters. I've considered going to our local retirement home and offering the elderly dichromosis and being like, away. I know you don't know me. I mean, like just thinking about it from this perspective of this elderly person looking at me as crazy as I can seem sometimes, being like, oh goodness, what is this? What is this kid trying to do? But I've thought about that as well, Ninja Nana. Like I would love to help. I would love to, give of myself as much as I can. I think, the offer to cut hair for them might be a little bit less jarring. Thank you for suggesting that. Is it why I can't really work in an official capacity for days out of every month? I am catatonic and I struggle to use my words. Weirdly enough, I just get I almost get to a point where I'm just like a zombie if I work a traditional job, Gem, where I get so enthralled in that pattern, I get comfortable with it. And then because I'm comfortable in that pattern and I've technically forced myself to be to I forced myself to be, go into this state of discomfort to, get up and shower and go to an office, whatever. That is something that is in and of itself uncomfortable, but I get comfortable in that pattern. And then when I'm outside of that pattern, when I have some time of my own, in the same way, I go into a state of extreme inaction where I feel, okay, I've taken action to be uncomfortable. Now I need to take inaction to be comfortable. And I feel like it's something that really is a part of all of our lives. It's so difficult for us to do even more, when we're already so tired from everything we have to do during our days. Having to work a job, having to take care of our loved ones, having to take care of ourselves. It, and like a part of me, tinfoil hat on, believes that it's, constructed that way. The reason that these companies and governmental mandates want us back in the offices isn't because they want us to be productive, it's because they want to control us. And they want to ensure that we continue doing that. If people stop going to offices, city centers are going to be empty. The stores that are in those city centers are going to be less profitable. The highways are going to be less open and traffic is going to be less worse. As a result of that, there is going to be a significant less, I feel like I'm having a hard time Englishing today. There's going to be significantly less demand for fuel, which means the price of fuel is going to fall, which means the people that have their fingers in that pie are going to get antsy because of it. There's so many layers as to, why these things are happening, and I genuinely see a shift in our understanding. Us being able to work from home in the way we are right now, it's not exactly easy for all of us to be working from home, but most of our jobs are going to be work from home jobs very soon. And going into the future, 50% of the jobs that is in person jobs, like stuff that you have to do with your hands, are going to be taken over by machinery very, very soon. Within the next 10 years, I believe 50% of our jobs are going to be obsolete. And that's a big yikes. That's a really big yikes. And we have to adjust as a society to that. If 50% of the human population is unemployed and they don't have the means to take care of themselves, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to take action. Because that's going to be extremely uncomfortable. And I don't think people understand how powerful human beings are when they're uncomfortable. We will rip the world apart. So stuff has to change. Lane, my brother Bear, how nice it is to have you here, dude. Thank you for joining us. How is Elden Ring treating you, man? I'm hearing so much about Elden Ring as of late. It makes me happy that you're actually playing it. Thank you for joining us, Brother Bear. Struggle to use my words. I leaned into 130-kilometer winds here a week ago, and it was crazy. Okay, Ozzy, so you got to actually have that experience. Trying to live vicariously through you. I tried to do it once at school. Like we had this, what do you call it? A rugby field, like a football field, and it had like this pushed up hill of like dirt. So it was like flat plane and then suddenly pushed uphill. And because it almost like became a channel for the wind, it would really force itself up there. And you could kind of lean into that wind. And that was the closest I've ever gotten to it. We would have to keep our eyes closed as well because we would just have, dust flying into our eyes. And it was while I was doing that that a friend, gave me a nut shot for the first time. And I've never been more angry in my life. Well, I don't know if that's true. Up to that point, I've never been more angry in my life. I was in such a state of like disbelief. Like, how could you do something like that? Such a strong memory attached to me leaning into the wind. Thank you, Ozzy, for extracting it from me. Elden Ring is awesome. Definitely recommend. I don't have time, unfortunately. Oh, and I don't have time, one, and I don't have a controller. Like I maybe I'm a little bit ashamed. Let me just say, I Jack Sparrowed, like the Dark Souls games at one point in my life because I've heard a bunch of good things about them as well, and I tried to play it with a mouse and keyboard, and I literally could not, get past the very first like normal NPC. Like he was just this dude in armor and a big sword, and I would run through this corridor, and he would be in that corridor, and I would just have my ass handed to me over and over and over and over again. And I guess that's the draw of these type of Souls-like games. It's just to get your ass handed to you to grind. And it's so funny to me because I share this artist or content creator on YouTube. He makes these shorts, and he's basically in his room, hitting himself with a belt. Ah, ah, oh, and he's like, what did he use? I'm untainted, or like you would probably know what I'm talking about. and he's just like, what the hell are you doing? And it's like, oh, I've been playing Elden Rings, and it's been absolute torture. So I'm just skipping the middleman and torturing myself. I have arrived. Hello, Naomi. It's so nice to have you here. It's so crazy to me that you're joining us today because I was thinking about you in context of our friend Isaac. Isaac is also a hair, and I was like, I hope that Isaac and Naomi actually get to meet one day and have a conversation about that. It's nice to have you here, Naomi. How are you doing, my friend? Good morning, friend. I have done that. I haven't done it full time. I have too much passion for the cooler or fun barbering I do, but it is wonderful time to get to do. I will absolutely be going back to hair when Jasmine graduates. Oh, for sure. Thank you so much for sharing that as well. I mean, who says? The chaotic evil. Is it chaotic evil? Let's just. I think it's more chaotic neutral. It depends. It depends on your perspective. The chaotic neutral part of myself, you know, just imagines Isaac giving an elderly person a haircut and just going for one of the extreme fun barbering, color and fun barbering, against their will, and then turns them around and it's like, voila! And this old person is just in pure shock with the, you know, spiked blue mohawk that they know how. How cool would that be though? You're like, oh, I haven't seen grandma in like 2 weeks. Gonna go to the elderly home and see her again, and grandma has a blue spiked mohawk. I would be like, sick, grandma. Sick. I'm well, had a rough night's sleep, but tending to my plants now. And once again, so much new growth. That makes me so happy, Naomi. I hope you enjoy seeing that growth constantly. Realize that you're going through the same growth. Just because we're not, creating these nodes, blossoming little flowers out of ourselves, doesn't mean we aren't experiencing more, if not the same amount of growth. Thank you so much for sharing it with me, Naomi. Which I absolutely will be going to homes and hopefully doing more events with churches and such to cut hair for homeless or domestic violence victims, especially to give back when Jasmine's providing the finances. Isaac, dude, you're such a beautiful person, brother Bear. It makes me so happy. Like seeing you today, I had like this trip. Like I don't know if you know, but I have this friend called Johan, and you could be cousins as well, dude. So I saw one of my best friends in you as well today, and as soon as I saw you, I was just like, one of my brothers. So much love to you. As good as it is to be to go full throttle, knowing how to limit your energy output becomes more important as we grow and find more that we want to give our attention to. What a good point that is. Especially as you're a father right now, Corey. Like, that must be such a shift in understanding and attention. Taking action not only for yourself but for others as well. And I can already see Jasmine and Isaac are willing to do that, and it makes me so happy to see it. I have a snake plant that I bought discounted last year in the summer. It was bad off, and within days, it completely rotted at the base. I'm sorry to hear that, Naomi. Like one of my marijuana plants is rotting at the base. I didn't want to tell you, friends, because I've been so proud of this plant. But I think I might have overwatered it or something. It's not completely rotted. It's like on the one side, I can see a little bit browning of its stem, and technically it has stem all the way down to its roots. And as soon as I saw it, my heart dropped. I was like, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to scratch it off a little bit, try and like move some of the soil away from it and try and give it some air and sun exposure. But I know the feel there. I mean, it's not fun. I managed to save one leaf and try to replant it, and it's just finally showing new growth today in late winter. That makes me so happy, Naomi. Thank you for saving its life. So freaking awesome. Give attention to. Absolutely. Natalie, thank you for joining us, my friend. It's nice to have you here. How are you doing? How's the kids? I can understand that. It's so important that you have the awareness of yourself. So proud of you. It's official to me. Man, we love you, Isaac. Genuinely. You're absolutely right. I think it's just that for so long, I was always in a bad place with no energy. And that now I have it, I get the need to make the most of it. And you do. You genuinely do, Jam. Like, being able to just sit down and draw for like 6 hours in a day, you do that actively, like a lot. It boggles my mind. Like, how are you that powerful? So thank you for channeling that energy into that action. Genuinely, Gem. A good plan, supporting her as best as you can, like you are, is key to a healthy relationship. It's good to know that what you're doing isn't where you'll always be, especially when it's work that doesn't agree with you. Perspective. Man, you friends always share so much perspective. Thank you, Ninja. This reminds me of our conversation of flowers. I find that motivation in myself, imagining taking of myself, talking of myself like a plant. It It requires healthy soil, maybe thinking, healthy soil and daily watering, and before you know, it'll bloom. A strong root structure. We must water ourselves. It's interesting to me you say that, Isaac, because I've been really thinking about myself as a tree more so than ever. And I've been working so hard on that plant of mine. I've been giving so much love. I've been giving so much water. And technically, I've now inadvertently hurt my plant because of that. You know, and it's so interesting to me the fact that I can be aware of stuff like that. I'm like, oh, interesting. Excessive amounts of love can be bad. Too much action has caused my plant discomfort. Damn, dude. Thank you. Thank you so much. If you look in the mirror every day looking for changes, you will never see any. Changes are often minor, and over time, such things we don't tend to notice. But looking in the mirror over time, those minor changes accumulate into something more easily visible to us to see. This is something other people see of us more easily, as we may not see them from one week or a month to the next. You're completely right, Slovenia. So right. And I feel, in this context of all this words I just said or mentioned or tried to bring into the space, like we are also growing constantly, constantly growing, and we're blooming, and we're putting down new roots, and we're adding a few branches, and we're growing some flowers on a personal level, and it might not be as physical, as noticeable as it is maybe with a plant, but it very much is happening to us. That internal fractal is constantly growing wider and wider. Yo, universal lover, gang gang. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love, Cable. It's nice to have you here. Jovan says option paralysis is one that I am too aware of. Gonna overcome that one. We all are. We all are, Jovan. I'm very much stuck in option paralysis as well. I want to make music at one point in my life. I want to write the book, which I've been trying to. I want to create, Skillshare classes. I want to be able to make short form films. I want to make shorts, but I've kind of fallen out of the want to make shorts because I just feel like it's not what I want to do. I don't want to cater to that limited attention span. I want to, you know, be able to cultivate plants, which I am unfortunately already doing, but I want to do even more of that. I want to be able to draw. Like you friends are such inspirations. Jem, Toasty, Jovan. You friends are such inspirations to me when it comes to that as well. I want to do poetry, Kavel and Christian. I want to be able to code, Johan. And, I'm thinking about Melita as well. I want to be able to do all of these things. And there's so many things that we can do as human beings that we can get so paralyzed in inaction and do nothing instead. And it's jarring. It's so jarring. Fjord, thank you for joining us, Mariah. Just random Fjord. I'm missing a little bit, but it's nice to have you here. Also, I still have the video of you eating the shamrock plant, and I always cheered me up to watch. So, like, Naomi sent a photo to me of this little shamrock plant that she has that was like blooming these beautiful little pink flowers. And I told her we call them sirkis here in South Africa, and we call them that because if you eat them, they're kind of sour. And I told her you should try it, if you have some to spare. And she only has like I think five little, shamrock leaves, and I have a big one. So I went to it, was like taking a video of myself, plucked one, and I was like, no, 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 no. And I sent that video to Naomi. I'm absolutely blessed with it. She finds such passion and fulfillment in her career path. It's lucky that I will provide money, and that she is lucky to do that, allowing me to provide love and hair to others, no need for compensation. It's a give and take. You have chosen this person to be the other side of your infinity, and even though they might not be contributing financially to this infinity, they could be contributing emotionally to themselves, and as a result to you as well. It's all balance. Thank you, Isaac, for being so aware, friend. Shout out to the whole Ninja Clan too. Thank you, Cavo. We have Soviet slamming. What is this argument? Friend, I feel like I'm, being torn apart, absolutely melted all over the place as well, dude. So if you can let me know, I would like that. Yes. So happy that you all deserve these blessings. So happy that you do as well, my friend. You also deserve these blessings. Dan is thriving. Dan is genuinely thriving. Aaron is also thriving. And I believe every single one of us, not necessarily because of this space. Like Dan went as far as to say yesterday that he contributes the amount of growth that he's experienced through this space. I don't want to go as far as to say that, but us being aware of the things we're aware of right now because we have been allowed this space allows us to grow as well. And I look forward to seeing you friends grow into infinitum. I love you so much. We're going to grow together. My with children, there are no inaction days. Goodness, you're right. You're completely right. Like you you cannot Ninja Peach. Like there's no moment where you can be like, okay, guess I'm gonna take a day of not taking care of my kid. That's just not something that you can do. With children, there are no inaction days. I find I'm constantly forcing myself into uncomfortable situations, but it pays off. I forced myself to go for a walk yesterday. Nothing inside of me wanted to, but I was so much better for it afterwards. Ninja Peach, it's so crazy to me as well because in my journal yesterday, I wrote every single time you become aware of what you need to do, you will become aware of reasons not to. And like as soon as I wrote those words down, I was like, shit. Every single time you become aware of what you need to do, you'll become aware of reasons not to. And like that's it as well. Like instead of giving credit, like credence to the reasons not to, by doing it nonetheless, we gain so much information from it. And it kind of happened yesterday. Dan asked me if he can call me, like I think 9:30, and at first my mind was like, oh, it's 9:30. I'm gonna go to bed soon. I'm not sure if I want to have a phone call right now, and that was my reason not to. And I was like, instead, I'm gonna do it anyway. And I had that call, and that call literally filled me to the brim with positive energy. I was so happy, so happy just to hear how Dan is thriving. And in that moment, I was like, I could have, chosen this reason not to, but because I chose the reason to instead, I feel exponentially more full than I would have. And thank you so much for sharing that as well, Ninja Peach. Fine, I don't look back. Soviet slamming, you don't look back? Looking forward, my field benefits us definitely. Thank you for continuing, friend. Management, love is being shared. That is so exciting. Like we talked about before, children can give you the inspiration to experience through your desire to have them experience the beauty in life. So proud of you and Corey. Inspirations. Like I look forward over the next, let's say, 6 years learning actively from Corey. And damn it, I did know your name, but my brain has replaced it with just Ninja Peach. Fractal, come on. So much love. Like I've been learning from you friends and I appreciate it so much. Age Josh, I think you've been tagged by Gem, if I'm not wrong. To the world, you are one person, but to one person, you are the world. I like that. Technically, you are the world to your person. The person that is you as well. You're the medium through which this world is being experienced right now. Take a moment to notice beauty. Sure. Yes. I was like, I'm gonna notice beauty, and for some reason, my mind was like, yes, we'll notice one beauty, and then I started looking around, and I'm like, Beauty everywhere. Thank you, friend. So much beauty. You are the world as well, friend. Realize that. Always my Aussie friend. Also, sorry for missing your stream. No sorry is necessary, friend. Yes, I love sending those parcels of pure chaotic energy, and we feel it, Kevo. We appreciate it so much. Today, I'm forcing myself out to a friend's house for a visit. I love them, and we're so overdue, but I have no desire to go. But I know I'll be happier once we actually go. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. As soon as you realize what you need to do, you'll realize things not to, reasons not to. So, thank you so much for being aware of that fact, Ninja Peach. You never need to apologize for not being here. There, your company is appreciated whenever it is offered. Exactly. You know, if we find ourselves in this moment together, we're in this moment together. Us not being in this moment together doesn't mean we're at a loss. It just means that we don't have this now. So instead of focusing on, the lack of something, we get to be appreciative of the having of something. Oh, same, Mel, same. That's the most basic and yet powerful empathy. Just listening with intention. I agree completely, Brother Bear. Not only with intention, but with attention. Like we notice when someone isn't fully present with us. And if we're not fully present with someone, it's jarring. It feels like, oh, am I not worth your time? Am I not worth your full attention? Am I not worth you? And people notice it even if they might not say that they notice it. Like if you're having a conversation with someone and you're on your phone, uh-huh, mm-hmm, like that other person, you might not be experiencing a lack of perspective in that moment, but that other person definitely is, and they notice it. Coming saying hi. Gotta groom the poppers today. Thank you, Mariah, for joining us for even a second, my friend. I need more plant people in my life. I feel sometimes I want to share too much of my new growth because it comes from a place of love. I mean, Naomi, there's pretty much a whole subreddit, I believe. If you genuinely want to share something with a community of people who are like really who plant people, that's the nice thing about Reddit. There will be people that will receive you in that way. Okay, I was there for a bit when my internet died. It's nice to have you, friend. Active rest is also a thing, dude. Saying as a current practitioner, I'm like, again, Kevo, the things I'm bringing into this space today, I'm not being like, you're doing something wrong and you should stop. No. Because I try at least not to be a hypocrite. I also go through days of inaction. And even though I might gain in discomfort the more days I go being inactionable, I feel it's important to me to bring this topic, this understanding, this feeling into us together, so that we may feel from that, so that we may gain perspective from one another. As you're giving me perspective as well, Cable. Damn it, maybe give it a good kick. Come on. Hey, morning to you, sofa. It's been a while, friend. How are you doing? How's life been treating you? How have you been treating yourself? Love the reminder. Thank you, my friend. So happy to see you. Threaten is deportation. I love the contagious positive vibe this channel has. Josh, we love you, friend. We love you. This is why we're doing this. Literally, I show up every single day with one truth in my heart. Love is true. If I think so, okay. I your friends might have noticed, but I haven't had any problems or mentionings of my dad in a while now. We were having a conversation yesterday, and he was sending me this Jordan Peterson cut together video where Jordan Peterson at the start of his fame, if you will, didn't wasn't comfortable with the question of do you believe in God, and at the end, like right now, he's a believer in the Christian religion, or at least a believer in Jesus or whatever. And my dad really desperately wants me to be a Christian, and unfortunately, my understanding of God is one of limitlessness, of the inability to encapsulate, the inability to understand, the inability to genuinely pinpoint. Where the Christian religion, I believe, is a very limited understanding of God. A God that is jealous, a God that is judgmental, a God that guilts you, a God that punishes you. And I cannot abide by that understanding. And like he sends me this video and I watch it, and I basically tell my dad, I believe in God. I just don't believe in a limited God. I don't believe in a God that focuses on judgment, on guilt and shame. And I will never. My God is unconditional love. And my dad sends me this message back. Love is conditional. If it wasn't conditional, it isn't love. Think about it. He sends me. And I send him back, Dad, I think about it every single day. I've been trying to think about it every single day for the last 429 days now. And I show up every single day channeling that unconditional love. No matter what the condition of my inner state, I show up for love because that is what love means to me. Unconditional love. Genuinely, no matter what, showing up for. And if you think about this world that we're in, you know, if I'm a horrible person, I can still breathe air. I can still drink water and enjoy a meal. If I'm a wonderful person, I can still breathe air, drink water, enjoy a meal. God's love isn't conditional, not in my mind. And my dad's want for me to believe that God's love is conditional. I'm like, why? Why? Why do you want me to believe that? Why would I want to have a limited understanding? But yeah, I completely feel you, my friend. I completely feel you. This place is made for unconditional love. Thank you for joining us. I have a joke that I shall refrain from saying because it's offensive. Soviet, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Give it to me. Lol, there we go. Same, Isaac. And most definitely, always glad to be sharing energy. So happy to be having the cable vibes coming my way right now. Thank you, Brother Bear. You don't know how offensive it is, Jem. I have a dark sense of humor. Soviet, I appreciate you for being willing to not send it in chat and being willing to maybe DM it to our friend Jem. Elderly people are actually very welcoming to visitors. Yeah, they are, Kevo, very much so, because they need people to talk to, and I agree with that. And I'm still probably gonna do that, but my intention is to try and help. And unfortunately, having met old people, they don't necessarily want to be helped, you know, and I understand it as well. They've been doing things for so long in their way, in their understanding of things, that if some random ass person, you know, especially a dude in his 20s, is like, hey, there's a better way. To be like, oh, this dude is insane. Who do you think you are? You think you know? I've been living for 70 years longer than you. I know. And I'm like, yeah, I know you know. But maybe I know something because I have a different perspective. And they're like, no, you have a limited perspective. But I understand all of that, brother babe. All of it. Only ways to find out. There we go. Hey, Boop is joining us, saying hello, friends. I have been trying to comment with my new account, but I found out that I have to wait a little before posting and commenting. Oops. Hope you all are doing great. Thank you so much for joining us, my friend. Like, do let me know what your new account's name is. Maybe I can, you know, like add a new little fractal bit for your new name, friend. I look forward to seeing from you, even if it's just cutting hair or sharing a conversation with them, especially sharing a conversation with them. I agree. I love all people and the wisdom in their eyes. I had, you know, and just to kind of loop the infinity of what I just said a little bit earlier about old people, I had this conversation with a friend of my mom's, and I was basically sharing my philosophy for life, my understanding of religion and spirituality and what it is I'm doing right now. And I was expecting aversion, resistance in her, and instead I got the opposite. Like seeing her understand what it is I'm saying and seeing her living into the message I'm trying to share, it was so beautiful. And it gives me so much hope. So much hope. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. So far. We love you, friend. Working with the elder, I can promise some will line in. My mom literally learned how to clean and pack a bowl for her long-term care home job. It is a part of their personal care. She doesn't smoke weed, but she loves helping them do it. Man, Ninja Beach, like that blows my mind. Because what I wanted to do, you know, is like roll them joints and stuff and have some dichromos capsules that I would be like, oh, hey, hello, I have these things, and they have really served me. And I know you've been told your entire life that they're the devil, but God made them for us to experience. So I give them unto you for free. Please consider using them. Maybe they'll help you with your pain. Maybe they'll help you have a conversation. Hey, Salvador Mendoza. Wait, whoa, whoa. I see Batsy is here as well. Thank you for being such a positive person. Your presence is much appreciated. Batsy, I'm just a mirror to you, friend. Thank you for being a positive person as well. Go and share that positive energy with the rest of the world. I will soon be forced to make changes in my life. I'm moving in with my in laws due to a loss in family. Any guidance for the unseen future would be much appreciated. Salvador, unfortunately, my ability to see the future is very limited. Limited in my own life. And weirdly enough, even though I feel sometimes I can see the future, a part of myself makes the opposite decision. It's like, oh wait, the future is gonna be this, and then I'm like, okay, it's gonna be this, but let's see what happens if I do this instead. And then I do this, and then I get to the future. I'm like, fuck, I I knew this was gonna be the future, but why did I do that instead? So the only advice I can give you is just to be present, friend, to try and be as aware as you possibly can in every single moment, to understand that there is so much bias, so much perspective, so much ego that has had so many years to develop in every single person. And ego is one of those things. Like I sent in a Reddit post yesterday. The ego's one purpose is to ensure its own survival. And if you destroy the ego, it convinces you that everything around it is going to be destroyed as well. So people become super attached to this egoic understanding of themselves, and it's very difficult for them to try and consolidate a new understanding of themselves, of the world that they're a part of. And it's understandable. It makes complete sense. So instead of getting angry because of that, just be aware of that. And if you can stay aware of that, it will be easier to live with your in laws, friend. Good luck. Good luck. I wish you so much luck, my friend. Go and share love with them. I know you will. Smoke. I struggle with this as well. I'm proud of you for pushing yourself to do something that will be good for you. Thank you, Chansky, for doing the same, friend. We're constantly growing, and even if we have to spend a winter hibernating, waiting for the sun to come out again, the energy to come back again, and doesn't, grow any bit, not even like a little speck, that's okay. But don't spend the entire energetic overload when the sun is shining on you, staying in that state. We're not trying to say that one of them is wrong. We're just saying to have a balanced understanding of it. Be both sides of the infinity. I'm doing well. Yes, on the path of recovery, more like, but also ready to flow wherever the tides take me. What are you recovering from, Caleb? I would love to know. Yes, 420 grannies. I love this. I volunteered with old folks for years, and I loved it. There are more and more of them. Interestingly enough, Jem, more and more 420 grannies. Maybe I will have to do edibles instead. The thing is, edibles are just so strong. They last so long. Where if you can, give an elderly person like a single puff, it might, serve them a little bit better. Yes, most refreshing to have some positive and encouraging times in our life. You're doing the same for us, Josh. I appreciate you, friend. Like, even if it's just a second, a moment of you sharing a smile with someone who might be going through a hard day, you are that refreshing, positive, and encouraging perspective in their life. So I appreciate you for doing the same. I'm doing great. So happy to see that you showed up today. Thank you for being here and making my day a little better. Like, just these incremental, technically an infinite amount, but the thing is, infinite on top of infinite can technically be all of the infinite, or it can be an infinitely small fraction of the infinite. So no matter what it is, all of them are infinite. So I appreciate you, friends. Like, every single one of you make this space infinitely larger. And you being here, you're eliciting this response. And I'm eliciting a response you're being elicited from. Also, it's funny, we're talking about elderly people today. I cleaned up my grandfather today. Thank you for doing that. Clothes and used diaper and feeding him. It's a meditative task, I swear. Also, fuck normal jobs. I agree, Cable. I agree with that completely. Absolutely, so needed these days. Thank you for being willing to do that as well, Brother Bear. Ooh. Have you read The Five Invitations by Frank Ostaseski? My mind instantly goes to that. It's a man who was running, I think he might still be, running a Zen hospice and talking about doing that, the people being willing to take care of the elderly in that way, being willing to clean them, and what a meditative task that is, and how it's this completely different understanding of self that you have to go into. Thank you, Brother Bay, for doing that. You may not know it, but you were a wonderful human for taking care of your grandfather like that. Oh, I think Cable knows. Cable might be overly aware of it. That is so big. So many people, especially in America, I find, drop their elderly the minute those tasks are needed. That's a disservice to the people that helped craft us into this world we are in. Thank you for doing that, you beautiful soul. Thank you for encouraging him to, Isaac, and for being willing to sit with that understanding. Love to you and your grandfather. I'm sure he appreciates it more than you could ever know. You're so loved, Cable. Not only by us, but by your grandfather, by this universe as a whole. It's legal here, so they're allowed to enjoy it when they want, and lots love to do it. One guy even gave my mom a wheat plant so her kids could grow it for him. Well, then we split the yield with him. We actually didn't take our share though. That's so beautiful, Ninja Peach. You know, I think that is what I'm gonna do. Yes, like the thing is, I'm just so scared to get arrested. Like I'm actually scared of getting arrested. It's gonna be a big yikes if I just stop showing up and my mom is like, "Oh wait, Melt's in jail because he tried to give elderly people weed." He's like, "He did what? Melt did what?" Isaac, you are too kind. Thank you for that. Made me smile. Very blessed you are. I've done nothing but Elden Ring. I've been playing Souls games since 2011. It's like a dream come true. I can only imagine, dude. Man, is Elden Ring that good? Like, to me, it looks very similar to like Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3. Is there a mechanical difference? Is the bosses more enjoyable? Is the story more enjoyable? What exactly is it that is making Elden Ring such a hit? I'm totally here for it. Thanks. I don't do it daily, but whenever he needs it, I'll be there, of course. Thank you, Cable. Nobody should ever receive a nutshot. Savages. Yeah, I agree. Like, that is just not something that's okay. Never, ever, ever. That's the benefit of the Indian collective society, I guess. It is. It genuinely is. You still love one another and, value actual. You value elders. Wait, are you talking about Demon Souls? Dark Souls, I think. Dark. Maybe there's another game called Demon Souls as well. Do you know my grandfather first introduced me to poetry? So all of this poetry energy comes from that source. This is a way of giving back. Especially, I'm thinking about your, beats per minute, or your music poem, the one you read on the talks. In context of your grandfather, 90 BPM, keeping his heart rate up. I'm thinking a bunch of things, but I feel I'll leave it at that. The draw of souls is waking up to an impossible challenge, knowing that no matter your equipment, you are capable of toppling that foe. I fought a boss for 3 days straight in Elden Ring and finally beat him yesterday. Felt incredible. Like super dopamine. It's just your brain is like, Ew. I did it. Thank you so much, Isaac, for sharing that with me as well. I agree. It's about the grind. That is what makes the game fun. My brother-in-law's dad, we call him Uncle, was blind as a result of two separate accidents and bedridden, and the family took care of him until the day he died. How long was he bedridden for? And now that you've also mentioned the same, Gem, like what I was thinking and I decided not to share. But now I feel like my mind and the universe was like, oh, this is something that you might want to share, and I was like, okay, that's it's a little bit of a yikes thing to share. Maybe I'm not gonna share it, and then the universe is like, maybe this is something. Thank you, Jem. I think about when I think about that, again, I understand and I feel into this understanding that we're all fundamentally the same being experiencing different perspectives, God experiencing us. And as God experiencing the perspective of being bedridden, holding on to life in such a painful, incapacitated state, I wonder why. I wonder if it's a fear of what comes next. I wonder if it's an inability to let go of what has been. But I would like to believe that if I ever got into that state, that I would want to die. Not from a morbid perspective, but from a I've got to have the experience I have. And the experience I had was one of being able to be actionable. And now my experience is completely encapsulated with inaction, and alongside that inaction, extreme discomfort. So why do we continue? And I'm sorry if this is information that might not be like, popular or enjoyable to think about, but I would like to believe that what comes next is better than being bedridden. Whew. Okay. It's about banging right against an impassable wall until you break it of your willpower. Oh, goes through the wall, sees this a new wall. Also, color, not cooler. My apologies. It's completely okay. It's completely okay. I love doing hair color. Maybe you can do my hair color one day, actually. I want to have purple hair again. Thank you for helping him live. Thank you so much. Cable for doing the same. I also like Dark Souls games too. Of course you do, you absolute sadistic. Cable, I feel like Cable does have this little bit of a sadistic part of himself. He's also like a kickboxer, so like he'll just be punching a punching bag, like getting himself all wrecked. And I'm just like watching him. I'm like, okay, well, you beautiful being, wrecking yourself. I'm chaotic. There we go. He used to play an instrument that was like a piano and an accordion, and I love to listen. I think I know what you're talking about, Jem. Every comment, your alignments. Everyone comment your alignments. I feel every comment is our alignment, technically, Cable. How about that? They're the only games I play anymore. Thousands of hours in total. Wish I could go back to being 13, spending 9 hours in front of that game. I would like to get rid of Dota, Isaac. Like I have on a record, like I think 1,500 hours of Dota. No, probably like I have 1,500 hours on my first account, and then like 400 and something hours on my second account. So like 2,000 hours of Dota, and I haven't played it in 2 years because one, I would spend so much time doing that, and two, I am extremely competitive, and I get viscerally angry when that energy isn't reciprocated. Like you're in a lane, for example, and I was a very good carry player. A carry is like someone who kills people. He's the one that gets gold, and then with gold gets better and better items, and better items gives more and more damage allows you to kill people more efficiently. And then there are other roles of like the support that has spells. So the Euro is useful with any items basically, and can do damage and disable people without needing any items. And as a good support player, and I would go through bouts of playing support as well, you basically try and help your carry get as much gold as possible in your lane. You harass the other players so that they don't get close to your carry player, so that your carry player can farm unencumbered. You stack camps. There's so much intricacy to it. And if you have a support player in your lane that just like straight up takes your stuff, it will become insane. And the more they take your stuff, the more they basically shoot you in the knees later in the game, and then later in the game you're unable to carry the team, and then the whole team shits on you for not being able to carry. And it's like it's a fun game. It's amazingly fun. But also I've never gotten more angry at a game than I've gotten angry at Dota. So understanding that, I just made the decision to not anymore. I was like, yeah, I could be, but I would rather not. And I'm happy that I made the decision. I also wish that I could still. It was fun being able to just, spend 9 hours a day, like literally from morning until evening. You're just playing games all day. Being able to channel yourself like that. Dark Souls, not Demon Souls. Thank you, Cable. Thank you, friend. That's so cool. Hello, Ashton. Weird bot. I tend to the flame and tend to thee. Do you wish to hear a tale? I can see in your eyes. If you didn't invade, didn't pillage, wherever would you do? Ringfield Leonard. Have a pleasant journey, champion of Ash, and praise the sun. This is pretty cool, actually. Thank you, Souls like bot. Praise the sun, the sun, the god, the bot showed up here. I've been waiting on this bot since I joined. I mean, you've been waiting for like every since a single time we said Dark Souls. It's like where is this bot? Fear not the dark, my friend, and let the feast begin. I love you, dear SDN and friends. Back to sleep. Love you, Kira Burp. Hope you're having absolutely beautiful dreams. I am 37 minutes behind on comments. I know whose fault it is. It's absolutely Cable's fault, and I'd be willing to say that because Cable, unfortunately, doesn't have the means to be like, yes, a thought. I'm going to form this thought. I'm gonna share this thought. Cable is like, thought, 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 and I'm the same way. So thank you, Cable, for joining us, brother bear. It's so nice to have you. I just heard "Fear of the Dark" by Iron Maiden as I read that. Lol. I don't. Unfortunately, the lyrics or the bass line or anything is coming to me. I don't. I'm not familiar enough with Iron Maiden. There once was a guy with class, with balls made of grass. In stormy weather, they clung together, and sparks flew out of his ass. I like that, Josh. Playing with different, abled. Abled is so cool because you get a completely different perspective than usual. Playing a while, different abled. Oh, like being unable to do things normally and then kind of like adjusting to be able to still do it. From the DS3 DLC, Dark Souls DLC, in regard to the Abyss, another perspective in the Age of Dark. Fear not the dark. It's not the dark that hurts us, but those who keep us there. Ooh. It's not the dark that hurts us, but those that keep us there. I'm so happy to have friends that choose to bring me into the light instead. I'm so jealous of you all being able to smoke in the open and grow and stuff. Keval, eventually it will be that way for you as well in India. It's like I believe India was one of the OG countries to grow and smoke weed as well. I believe all of the Hindu, practices, all of the yogis probably were absolutely blazing as well, dude. It's ridiculous. I love it. Got to relax. Topic is one I can literally rave about all day. Man, it makes me happy to hear that, Isaac. The fact that you're here and we actually get to talk about that. Typically, the age of the dark and is the age of the humans, but the gods don't let it happen. Hmm, that's interesting. Well, he was incredibly intelligent, and the music was something he first learned when he could see. And I didn't, and I think he felt music differently after he was blinded. Ooh, it's crazy to me that you say that, Jem, because I had this feeling. I wouldn't call it a vision necessarily. I was just a thought maybe, where I was playing my kalimba and I had my eyes closed, and I imagined one day having like eye surgery or having my eyes replaced by some sort of cybernetic, and having to have my eyes closed for like a day or two while they heal, and just being able to play my kalimba, not being able to see. So the fact that you're sharing that with me just makes me all the more happy. Most definitely love being shared. Absolutely. I recommend watching all of the lore videos on Vati Yega's channel. Even if you never played the games, the lore is such an allegory for humanity. Like I feel the same way about Dota as well. Dota lore is fantastic. It's such a trip to actually dive into that world. Game lore. I mean, then we can get into Warhammer. We can get into. I feel maybe those two are the ones I'm most fascinated by. Like Warhammer is. Oh goodness. Like if there is a genre of games that is has yikes lore, it's Warhammer. Like there are Sonic Knights that literally have speakers in their helmets that blast music so loud that their ears start bleeding. And then after they completely lose their hearing, they have surgery to have their ears replaced, and then they do it all over again. And that makes them stronger. And they have like speaker units mounted to their shoulders that blast sonic waves at their enemies, literally tearing them apart. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Stay positive. Game lore, yo, goodness. Absolute insanity. Yesterday, I went on a walk to get out of the house. While walking, I found a warm patch of grass to sit on. I sat there a moment in an attempt to be present, but I felt I could truly achieve it. Felt you could truly achieve it, didn't achieve it? Or felt like I couldn't truly achieve it? What exactly were you trying to say, Salvador? Like you don't need to achieve presence, friend. You always are. You cannot not be present technically. You can have varying degrees of presence, surely, but presence is there we go. Couldn't that makes more sense. But you cannot. You are unable to can. You cannot stop being present. Like as soon as you open your eyes, I believe even with your eyes closed in the sleeping state, your mind is like away, dream state, and then it puts you in a state of presence even in that world. Presence is what you are. Awareness is fundamentally the core of your existence. And then around that goes ego, the stories you tell yourself, and then the stories you tell yourself inform who you want to be, and that becomes your persona. So if you're going to try and gain presence from an ego perspective of like, oh, these thoughts need to stop so that I can be present, then you'll never feel truly present. But if you realize you are on a fundamental level always present, and then you have these layers of perception attached to that presence, you are present. You're present right now here with us, my friend. And I appreciate you for that, Salvador. Gonna go and make some stem tea. That sounds nice, actually, Kale. Too much weed talk to make me very jelly. Kevel, I'm on day 8? No, day 10. No, day 9 of not smoking weed. And I like yesterday, I was like, okay, I have like 15 days before I can smoke weed again. And I've been really wanting to in the evenings. And I've been like, no, no, just no. Wow, it just reminded me of an incredible childhood memory of meeting a blind folk guitarist in my hometown. What a blast of nostalgia. Thank you, friend. Thank you for experiencing that emotion and that memory, Isaac, and for sharing it with us so that we may experience it, again with you as well. You're very welcome. I love it when memories pop up like that. Me too. It's so nice for me to be able to share those memories when they pop up in me as well. Literally, I'm on day 5 of tea breaks. Like we're getting beaten the most by it, Isaac. I love Melt, but I don't think I can visit his stream on a weed break. What are you trying to say, Cable? You trying to say you need to be high to experience this energy? I mean, I feel pretty high almost always, and I genuinely smoke weed to slow myself down a little bit. Why not make a goal to start something new each month? To start something new each month? Josh, what exactly do you mean? Like I need to start doing something new every month instead of doing what it is I'm doing right now every day? Or I should Oh, maybe you're meaning like of all of the things I want to do, I need to start doing them on a month to month basis. That's not a bad idea. I feel the reason I don't do that is because I know as we're going to move into our future, and I'm fortunately very young, and I have a lot of time to do the things that I want to do, technologically, I'm going to be more and more capable of doing them. Like music, for example. I would love to make music with other individuals. and I would like to be in the space with those individuals, making music with them, but I'm not, so I don't. To give you a reason why I'm living in an action. Stop it, awareness. Stop it. I feel this. Like the sculpture that I started, it's sitting there, staring at me half painted. I feel that as well, Isaac. Like maybe just a little bit at a day. Like taking 15 minutes to just add a little bit to it. There's so much I want to do, and that I feel like I have to do, but so much of me enjoys just sitting and watching the world. Oh, Ninja Nanner, I feel the most fundamental part of myself just wants to observe. And it's crazy to me because when I get into a very psychedelic state of mind, Pippi is eating a butterfly. Oh, shame. When I get into a very psychedelic state of mind, it's almost like that truth becomes even louder in myself. Where instead of becoming overly, I need to go and do this, I need to do that, I get into this state of like, hmm, I need to observe. And on a fundamental level, we are that first and foremost. We are I, I, I. All that I am is the I that we are. Awareness peering into this world so that it may see. So I don't think you're wrong in that either, Ninja Nanner. I'm still waiting for the parcel I sent Melty to arrive while he's on stream. I'm waiting for it as well. I'm hoping that we might receive it Monday. Something, something in me wishes that it comes Monday, Gem. Are you on acid? No, I haven't had acid in almost 2 years now. Like it'll be 2 years in November of this year. It's gonna be 2 years. I would like to have some acid again, but in time, when the universe will allow, I'll have some acid again. Thank you for asking, Extension Ad. It's a massive compliment to me that you think I am. With me being completely sober, I had some caffeine so that you could know what's coursing through my brain when I'm having water, and I'm in a fasted state for since 1 basically. So for about 5 hours now, I'm in a fasted state. So maybe a little bit of ketones coursing through my brain, some caffeine molecules, moving adenosine molecules out of the way, and maybe like upregulating the stimulating effect of my brain, firing neurons. Thank you for asking. It's balance. Don't want to watch the world go by. I get that as well, Lisa. It definitely is a balance. There are like morning talks over a cup of tea with y'all. I love the serenity you bring to my mornings. It's so nice to have you here as well, Jovan. Like just again, even if you're not necessarily contributing, you are. Literally just drinking your cup of tea, being in this moment, listening, and eliciting all of the responses that you will from listening. You're contributing more than you can ever, explain, more than you can ever show us. And I appreciate you for that. It's important to do nothing. Sitting here and watching Mel do his thing and reading the comments feeds a different part of ourselves, the spiritual part. It's beautiful. Like you have taken the action to be here, and being able to take the inaction of, not being here anymore, moving away from this space. It makes me so happy, Jem. Thank you for being such powerful beings. Not watch it go by, but watch the way things interact. I love listening to EDM and watching the leaves match different parts of the song, feeling the wind on my face and the sun, and one of my favorite things. Like I'm thinking about that in this context. Like if you're at a festival, Corey, like I am, especially at festivals, I become this observer where I like watching people's behavior. I like watching people interact with one another. I like seeing extremely high people meet their friends again, after having been separated, and them being like, oh, my friend, running up to one another and giving each other a big old hug, tears flowing off their eyes of how happy they are to meet one another again. I love that. And I don't have to be a part of that to experience that love. And if I wasn't willing to observe, if I wasn't willing to watch, that I wouldn't have seen. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it, Ninja Nanner. Exactly. That's why I say soul brothers and sisters. I feel it as well, Lisa. Accidentally took Ergo yesterday morning before going to the grocery shopping, was seeing shit out of the corner of my eyes and such. Came down around dinner time and had some chicken. Extension ad, that sounds like a bit of a yikes, dude. I'm just like thinking about our ancient, or maybe not ancient civilizations, our prehistory, like the Salem witch trials of people like eating ergo infested rye bread and then straight up tripping out, seeing things in the corner of their eyes, and then assuming that there's witches fucking with their minds, burning people. Dude, thank you for eating a chicken, and not stringing someone up and burning them. Extension out. Oh, it sounds glorious, like peaceful moments. I'm glad you catch them. Genuinely. Shanshi says, "Yes, I do this too. It's a beautiful experience. It is, friend, and we need to allow ourselves that as well. Like something I like to say is there is so much beauty to be seen if you look. If you just actually look." Damn, dude, that's intense. Okay, friends, like I'm contemplating two sides. I'm 41 minutes behind. So at this point, I know that there is no way for me to catch up. Okay? So I want to be present before I finish the stream. So I want to skip the comments and then be present with you friends. Yes? Yeah? Okay. I love you friends so much. Maybe I'll catch some of them as I'm going by. The shopping was fine. Extension ad. Man, they're so freaking cool comments. I don't want to skip them. So much wisdom in those words. The motto I live by is yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That is why it's called the present. Man, like I can just see that turtle's gentle face saying those words as well, Josh. It's such a beautiful way to see the world. Thank you for gifting me, your presence as well. Appreciate the positivity. I love you friends so much. I want to be present. That's a terrible thought. Conditional love. That means your pops loves you conditionally. What's up, dear? I do believe my dad loves me conditionally, unfortunately. And it's been something that's been jarring for me for a while, and something that caused me extreme amounts of turmoil, but I understand where he's coming from. I'm gonna continue reading the comments instead. Look at that, the epiphany. You know what? No. Action versus inaction. Part of me feel like inaction is going to, by not reading the comments, it's going to cause me more comfort. But even though it might be uncomfortable to take action, I'm going to choose action instead. Interesting that the mind, shopping was fine. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Isaac said, "Dude, that's intense. Did you enjoy the grocery store while experiencing that? Sounds like it was an adventure." It does. Hammock life, something amazing. Just slowly swaying with the sounds of the birds and the sun just slightly in your eyes is something I always crave. I feel like I have that moment now. I'm sending it to you, Isaac. Not to you, Isaac. Sorry. To you as well, Isaac, but to you especially, Corey. The motto I live by over a woman. Deep. It is. Such wisdom, those words, and a fun to boot. Oh yes, shopping was fine. I brought too much hummus. I bought too much hummus. Started to get properly manic and paranoid when I got home and was cleaning my room. Literally was googling how to know if you're having a psychotic breakdown before I realized what was happening. Extension ad, taking psychedelics and forgetting you've taken psychedelics. I feel can do that, like what the fuck? Is everything messed up? Why is my entire perception of reality falling apart? Why is my mind melting? Oh yes. Oh yes, I did this to myself. Isn't that interesting? You're strong. Interesting that your mind wanted an excess of hummus. So sorry that you had to experience, but I feel proud and accomplished that you continue to breathe and preserve the you are strong. Thank you for sharing that love. Thanks, man. I appreciate the positivity. I kind of had a near-death awakening, and I'm going to start talking to this girl at work that I've had a crush on for a while. Talk to her, feel into that perspective, but have no expectations of her. Extension. That's the best way to free yourself in that relationship. Like I feel like people view me as simple sometimes. Feel like they just see me staring off at seemingly nothing, with a slight smile on my face, no thoughts racing through my mind. Then I'll see something that gets my attention, usually an animal. For what it's worth, Corey, I haven't had the opportunity to think of you as simple for even a split second. Look at that, an epiphany. That's so exciting. Hope to hear an update in the future. Feel free to reach out to me if you want to discuss anything, friend. Extension ad, any of us friends here. We'd be more than willing to, share some love with you. I'm sorry, but I don't think any parent should try and force sympathy from their children. I don't think he tries to force it, Jem. I just think he's been believing what he's been believing for so long, and he really, because I look exactly the way that he does, he really wants me to believe the same thing to validate what he believes. And I understand that. That's just human nature. So, I feel like I'm overly aware sometimes of my dad's behavior, and that awareness can kind of cause me some turmoil, but only if I allow it to. Thank you, though, Jen. Terrible thought. Did I miss the dancing part? Dear Antler, I've been dancing less, friend. I dance kind of consistently on Wednesdays now to thank you, friends, for being Patreon supporters. But people assume I'm on drugs when I dance, and I want to. One of the most fundamental things that I'm trying to teach is that the things we share in this space, we're capable of experiencing without any intoxicant. That's why I'm taking a break from weed as well now. I feel I become more crazy, more psychedelically in tune if I don't actually take psychedelics. Like, genuinely, if I take like below 5 grams of mushrooms, I gain more perspective in what it's like to be sober, which is weird to me. Like, genuinely, the only time I've ever had a genuine psychedelic experience was when I took 7 grams of mushrooms, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe I don't have to have a psychedelic experience because I always am. We always are. Look at this shit. Look at it. Oh my goodness! Look at this fractal exploding out of the ground right now. And there's stuff living in it. It provides environments for little bugs running on its outside bark, little birds living in it. It provides, housing for even other organisms, other plants. Technically, they're, parasitic, but still, there is mycelium networks underneath me connecting this grass to itself. This grass, has different shades of green and gray and, well, not really gray, more like whitish or off-white brown. Fractals everywhere. Like, you don't need psychedelics to notice the fractals. And I feel maybe psychedelics helps show you that there are fractals to see, but you don't need them to see them. You just have to look. You just have to look. So, like, that's what I'm trying to teach. That's what I'm trying to live into, trying to show people. And if people assume you absolutely need to have these things, and assume that the reason I am the way I am is solely because of it, I feel like it's damaging, not necessarily to me, because I couldn't be bothered what you think of me, but I want you to think of yourself as that. And if you think of me as something that is wrong, or something that is a druggie, and you have an aversion to being a druggie, and that means you are unwilling to listen to the words I'm saying and unwilling to try and take into the perspective what I'm trying to share, then I don't want that. I want to share love as much as I can. Oh, yikes. My dad once told me that love is conditional, hugging you a ton, Brother Melty. For some reason, I saw like this square vacuuming a surface, like the square attachment that goes on the ground of a vacuum, sucking debris up. Thank you for sucking the debris up from my perspective, Kira Burb. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for the hug. I don't like the idea of forcing anything. Period. It's not the way it's supposed to be. All in flow, friend. All in flow. Conditional love is parasitic. Give and take. True love is only giving. And when we give, we all well. Exactly. It's not a. It shouldn't be an expectation. Again, I've been reminded so many times of this understanding of expectation. Every single time I have an expectation of a person or a circumstance or a moment, I cause myself suffering. So being able to give of myself freely without expecting anything in return has allowed me so much freedom that anything I receive in return is like exponential on top of that. I give freely, take when offered, and always give my love unconditionally. And we've been seeing that, Gem. We love you so much for that as well. Whenever I hear Melty talk about love, I think of it as an experience of state of being. Certainly you can do it, or not, but the thing is conditional. I don't think that's love. Whenever I hear Melty talk about love, I think of it as an experience or state of being. Certainly, you can do it or not, but the thing is conditional. I don't think that's love. Yeah, I feel that as well. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing that perspective and for being here with us, my friend. It's nice to have you. Giving freely helps me feel human. Same. Walton, thank you for joining us today, my friend. It's so nice to have you here. Hey, Aunt B is here as well. We have some Hadidas. You want to see what they look like? Those dudes. Those dudes are Hadidas. Big Borbs. I'm sorry. There we go. Level? Okay. I feel the same way. I totally understand. I'm fortunate to live in a country, somewhat in the woods, and I constantly look out the window at the trees, and all of the noise in my head gets quiet. I frequently see deer and rabbits. Man, I'm so happy that you get to experience it that way, Shanchi. You deserve that, friend. Please, live as much into that as you can, because you can. You know, like it's your responsibility to even. I'm choosing right this very moment to shoot out my strongest hard love feeling and everyone in the stream. I don't know you, and I don't need to feel love for you. It's coming out of me, and it feels really strong. And we feel it as well, Michelle. Like we don't need to know one another to love one another. And the way I understand love, again, is from this perspective of unconditional love, where the thing that I am at my deepest core is the same thing that you are at your deepest core. And if I was to love myself, how could I not love you? And I don't love myself on a condition. I'm not like, oh, okay, Melt, if you do this, this, and this, then I'll love you. Because how could I ever love myself then? Because I'll always have this goalpost that I keep setting further and further away for me to love myself. Son! Okay, I'm gonna move away because it's blasted my eyes. Absolutely blasted my eyeballs right now. Wah! They actually don't like it when you do that. The quail they think you're competition. Man, now we're at a new angle. This will have to do. I mean, it's not ideal, but I feel it, friend. Good morning, loose reporter. I feel like the only thing that you've said in the last few days is good morning, like multiple times sometimes. We're here with you, reporter. Please do reach out, friend. We love you so much. How was your day? I feel it like a wave flowing through me. Jem, thank you for being willing to tune into that. Whew, hope you're doing well. Haven't smoked weed in over 2 years now. Last few times I've done it, I had seriously bad panic attacks. Only one of the only times I've attempted suicide. Maybe someone mixed my shit with 2CB. I'll try again in a year maybe. Mixed your weed with 2CB. I didn't even know that was possible, extension ad. I'm so worried if that's the case, friend. That's absolutely unacceptable. Just opening my eyes, snuggle to Uncle Becky, and a little while listening and visiting here. So pretty great so far. Aunt B, thank you for joining us. It's so nice to have you. Katie, love to you. Melt. Oh, well, at limbs of absolute heaven. Sending love vibes to all of you. Sending them right back to you, Katie. Goodness, you're so sweet. Know you. Thank you, Nagy-ish, for the heartwarming friend. Wonderful no matter what. COVID is gone. I hope so, friend. Be gone, COVID. Living energy works as well for loving and living. We are intertwined. That we are. Loving and living are intertwined. Servinia, you're completely right, friend. This is pretty much what I do for a living. But I go to their homes so they can avoid going into long term care homes and stay at home as long as possible. Man, your love, Ninja Peach. So love. Yes, like watching the trees and the breeze brings awareness to the sounds of the birds and the bees. Ooh, man, a little bit of slam poetry. Thank you so much for that. Hey again, loose reporter. How are you doing, friend? Thank you for the silver. Thank you for the heartwarming as well, Ninja Peach. For warming my heart. On B, I'm always so happy to see you. Hope you're doing well this moment. Love is being shared. Elden Ring is literally, I believe, the perfect game. It inspires exploration. Every person I've talked to has a unique adventure. I can't even comprehend the quality of each little encounter. It is crafted perfectly. It's honestly mind blowing. Isaac, though, your friends have been really selling this game to me. My mind wants to start playing it. My awareness is like, oh yeah, you're gonna start playing games, are you? And my, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, no. No, you're not. It's the best medicine. Hey, reporter, how you doing? Uncle was bedridden for almost 3 years. How much of it was a good experience, Jem? I don't know if he was vocal about that, but I would love to know. That's awesome. I've been looking at it, but I'm fully invested in the Lost Ark on PC. It's actually a good casual MMORPG, and there's plenty to do. MMORPGs. There's a very good MMORPG out on VR right now that apparently is also making its rounds. I stopped for a year. I had the same, not quite as intense. And when I started again, I did not have the anxiety. Not encouraging you. You have to lean into what feels right to you. Please try again in the company of someone you love for safety. Thank you for encouraging that. Not necessarily the smoking of weed, but just for, our friend to be in the company of someone he loves. She loves. That I feel is most beautiful of all of it. And that's the thing as well, that we can utilize these things to feel even more close with our loved ones instead of trying to escape our reality. And I feel if we try to escape our reality with anything, and for me, the only way I can escape my reality is if I smoke DMT. It's the only psychedelic powerful enough to take me out of it. The last time I did, I refused. I was like, okay, we're going to escape reality for like 5 minutes. And then my awareness was like, holding on to my consciousness, my awareness, and I kept my eyes open for the whole of it, being in my room, breathing. No escaping. We don't want to escape. We don't actually want to escape. That's why we're here. Like we're here to escape in the first place. So why would we want to escape the thing that we went to escape to, if you will? That's awesome. I love the casual feel to an MMORPG. I am 70 hours in Elden Rings, and I feel like I've only scratched the surface of the depth that is there. I have to check out Lost Ark when I hang up. When I hang up my first adventure, please, Isaac. If it's something that will serve you, please do. That reminds me of Uncle Joe in Willy Wonka. Yeah, gets a golden ticket and suddenly, yeah, it's a chicken factory. Like that's a dick move. Unfortunately, Ninja Peach. Like watching the movie as a kid, I was like, that's kind of weird. And then the more I think about it as I get older, this dude was like bedridden for 20 years. Like straight up just chilling, getting served cabbage soup because that's all they could afford, and then has the opportunity to go to this factory. Instead of taking his dad or his mom, who has been working tirelessly to take care of him and his grandparents for the last 20 years, this grandpa is like, sick, gang, gang, take me. I have some super fun color on Hair by Isaac Instagram. I haven't uploaded in forever since I'm stepping back, but some fun stuff on there. Please share it with us on Discord. I also thought about, the fact that I haven't been posting on Instagram as well recently. I think the last time I posted was in 2018 or 19. Maybe at the end of 2019. Yeah, was the last time I posted on Instagram. I'll definitely check it out. I love when Cable is doing boxing and his cat gets hungry. I laugh at Cable talking to the cat. Cable is such a character. I love him so much. There's some interesting articles about Souls games helping with depression. It's really interesting to read. I mean, dopamine is definitely something that we lack when we're getting into a state of depression. And kind of grinding like that definitely would release dopamine. Encourage you to realize that if you continue pushing, you can have a reward. So that could be akin related to just life in general. If we keep pushing, if we keep showing up for the boss battle, eventually we'll equip ourselves with the skills to beat that boss. And whatever that boss is in your life right now, you have the ability to take action against it. Thank you, Isaac. I was an intense League of Legends player for a few years. I was a jungler though, and through love the chaotic and though through a jungler through and through, and love the chaotic nature of it. Me too, Isaac. It was such a fun game. What game? I was playing Dota, but we're talking about Souls games, but specifically Elden Rings a little bit today. Thank you for joining us, Fun Switch. I can't tell where Melt's in the comments. 35 minutes behind right now. Katie, thank you, friend. I want to meet everyone. No, we'll have a live talk AMA with Jem next Saturday if y'all can make it. That sounds amazing. Thank you so much for telling us, Aunt B. Oh goodness. Okay, no. I have a very important call in 1 hour with my future yoga instructor. My oh goodness, not yoga instructor, yoga teacher. He's going to be the one that's gonna equip me with the abilities to become an actual, certified yoga instructor. The chat today has energy of a full room of crack-filled squirrels, and I'm loving it. Me too, Isaac. Unfortunately, I'm like, and then I have like a bunch of crack-filled squirrels in my arms, and then one of them wriggles out and then starts running, and then I'm trying to run and catch that one, and as I catch this one, a bunch of the other ones ran. Pepe, let's die. Let's die, Pepe. Mm-hmm. Just chewing on a piece of plastic. For real. I step in not knowing what I was in for. It was so great. I stepped in not knowing what I was in for. It was so great. It's nice to have you here on the Mash to you, Katie. Melty! I don't know when you'll see this, but much love, brother. Dude, I'm seeing it half an hour later, friend. Thank you for sharing love with me. I appreciate it so much. Let everyone know. So excited. Right, my favorite part of the day. Create an event so you can get notifications. Thank you, Aunt B. I was just going to say Warhammer. They have insane lore, especially in the 40k series. It's unreal. It's unreal, and it's scary even. Like the Warhammer 40k lore is like big yikes all the way. Goodness. And the cool thing about the Warhammer 40k lore is like it's expanding. Like every single person that wants to add to the lore can, if they wanted to. It might be canon, but it's still pretty cool. Everyone talking about video games, and I'm just here mopping the floor while listening, thinking, sure, yes, all of this stuff. You guys might as well be speaking French. I mean, like my mind goes to this like joke world where you're like playing a game where you're like mopping as you're saying, and then there's like this little bar of like percentage having covered the mopped area, and I actually do this with myself where I'm like, okay, I've mopped 50% of this space, 100% of the space, and then I look at the complete 100% mopped space, or like 100% finished dishwasher. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, sick. Game one, I won. Ching ching. I just opened my eyes and showered with love. Oh my goodness, I'm gushing for everyone here. We love you so much, Aunt B. Warhammer and Warhammer 40k lure is brutal. Yeah, like real brutal. Both tabletop games and computer games, so brutal. Way to start the day. Same friend, same. I can watch games we played. I'm not a gamer myself. I used to be a gamer when I was a young man. As a young man, I was a young gamer, but I I believe that I'll be able to get back into games when they are truly immersive enough. Maybe that's the best way I can say it. There was a drug dealer who fed meth to a squirrel in a town nearby. It was an attack squirrel. Meth, actual meth field squirrel. That's so hectic. I wonder if the squirrel liked the meth. Technically, rats will keep administering meth to themselves if they had the option to. And weirdly enough, like if you take away a mouse's ability to feel dopamine, even if the food lever is a whole rat's length away from it, it won't get up to go and press that lever because it doesn't have the ability to experience dopamine. So it doesn't have that initial chemical to tell it, oh, you would like this. You should do this. It's just, it won't move. It literally will not move its own body length to feed itself if it doesn't have dopamine. That's how we become real life druids. I enjoy listening to one of these fireside talks last night. For some reason, the app crashed though, and I couldn't comment or anything. I'm sorry to hear that, Shanshki. I think it's still very much in the beta phase or in the developmental phase. It'll get better. Sorry about that. So excited for Saturday. Man, I love seeing you on here. Funk you. I love seeing you as well, friend. Thank you for taking a moment to be here with us. So much love to you. Tea break. What an amazing example of temporary discomfort to breed long-term effects. And technically, you're choosing inaction, because it's an action to smoke weed right now. And because you're choosing inaction, and there can be uncomfortability coming along with that inaction, when you get to perform that action again, you might feel all the more comfortable in doing so. You're so right, Isaac. Thank you for, giving me more hooks to attach to this understanding in my own mind. Dang, I'm so sorry about that. It's still a new feature, so we're reporting bugs to the product developers, so hopefully it will be primed soon. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for letting our friend know that he's seen on P. Same to you. My internet isn't very great, so I could have been a problem on my end, but I enjoy sitting and just listening. We love you. Red Clicker. Love to you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. I would love to be a druid, be more in the Diablo 2 sense, and not so much living in the woods alone. I mean, if you could live in the woods alone, and you would have, all of your needs met, and you have your family with you, not completely alone, and you have access to the internet, I think we would actually be okay with it, Corey. Like, maybe I'm speaking for myself right now. Every energy in the space is contributing or melting, genuinely. It's all becoming a part of, this consolidated understanding of love that we share. And to me, it's quite literally not physical, representational, hyperdimensional object that gets, puzzle pieces added to it. I like the Circle of the Moon D&D druids. That is always my favorite class. More like a focusing stone for the energy of nature. Like druids in D&D can be pretty powerful. They have cool spells. Hope he wants to chase chickens. Sammy Davis, how many wives are you planning on having? One. Like I would like to have one wife. I don't think I'd be able to. Like I feel sometimes I'm unable to give love to one person as much as I would like to, and I get too stuck in my own head as it is already. So I can't imagine having more than one friend. Off topic, but if you miss Saints or Cable's live reading from the books, you can go to r/Haywire Hill. Pepe, what doing jij? Like your YouTube friends, unfortunately you can't. There's nobody on YouTube right now, but Pepe is chasing chickens. She's leaving them alone right now, at least. You can go to r/Haywire Hill and select the Wholesome Talks flare to find them easier. Thank you, Aunt B. So, what Aunt B is basically saying is that Cable and Sensane was reading their books, and there was a bunch of friends that joined them for it. And those streams or Reddit live talks are being recorded and are now on the subreddit forever. And you can go and find them by clicking on the flares. This isn't fishing. This isn't a fishing stream. No need to troll. No, it's so chill, so chill, Ninja Nanner. You know, I'm willing to answer the question nonetheless. It's insane. I got your book in the mail yesterday. Thank you, Mindful Enneagram, for saying that to him. I'm looking forward to getting my copy as well. I absolutely love listening to you as well. Would love to do a talk around your work as well. Thank you so much on B for inviting. Like I would love to have that talk and have my enneagram taken, on that talk even. Have a wonderful day slash night, everyone. Josh, thank you for joining us, my friend. Have a good one as well. Do you take psychedelics? Occasionally I do, friend. And I like to let you friends know when I do as well. I feel I'm in a position where I can be a psychonaut, an explorer. And after having gone explored, I get to bring some information back and share it with you friends. But I'm not taking psychedelics right now. Yes, you need to set up some regular Enneagram and conscious living life charts. I think that would be fun. I think so as well. Todd Jansen, good morning to you. I have started the session for Reddit. This is Mixed to Dev. Todd, thank you for joining us, my friend. It's so nice to have you here on the YouTubes. The audio might be a little bit whack, but I believe the live stream itself might be good quality. I feel like I have to. I'm looking at myself for the first time and I'm trying to frame myself up properly. Thank you for joining us, Fred. It's nice to have you here. Hey, Auntie, thank you for tagging the Meltmore Patreon. I've consolidated this understanding that the friends that have the means to and want to support me on Patreon will. I feel like your friends know at this point. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to share that nonetheless, though, Auntie. So, shares and teaches. Thank you again, Auntie. Oh, I would really enjoy that. What you shared personally, I really, really resonated with Uncle Becky. He's such a good man. Both of you are, Enneagram and Uncle Becky. And thank you, Aunt B, for being willing to share that love as well. We are all parasites in a way, Melty. While bacteria live in and on us, we live in and on the earth and nature. That's true, but we can be. So I don't consider us parasites. I consider us, symbiotic. And there's a difference because a parasite is something that only takes from, gives nothing in return. So we can be parasites, as you're saying, Sarvinia. But I would rather be in symbiosis with, this planet, with one another, than I would like to be a parasite of one another, of this planet. And, that's what we're doing here. We're giving back instead of just being in a state of constantly taking. Meld, you have leveled up tremendously, my friend. The brain on B becomes more and more powerful. Zoom, zoom, zoom! Oh, zoom, 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 zoom! Are you zoomy zoomies? Oh, puppy, puppy! Zoom, 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 zoom! Puppy, pupsies! Huh? Oh, you sweet thing. Got you, got you. I got you, got you. Got you, got you, got you. I got you. She's like, nah, dude. I'm in the middle of Zoom Zooms. Hey, you silly thing, you. I'll boop your snoot, you. I'll boop your snooty snooty. I'll snooty boopy you. I'm out of coins, lol. Me too. Me too. Like I literally don't give myself a chance to have like more than 100 coins. Where I'm like, oh sick, I have 100 coins. Guess I'm sending this one person love 5 times in a row. Oh, yeah, YouTube Live is better than Reddit Live in terms of overall quality. But it's actually the main reason I'm starting to seek out the YouTube channels of my favorite RPAN peoples. It's more stable. It definitely is. Thank you so much, Mixed to Dev. However, the comments are better on Reddit. It is, and it disappears quickly here, and it really bothers me. Like now, your comments are gone. I wish it was just gonna stay there. I don't want to see my own face. You silly thing. All right, you silly. You silly thing. You silly thing. Oh, mush. Silly. Greedy. Delve into the numbers as well. Glad you need to talk to him about it. Boy, the I like to drop community awards, and they're like 500 coins each. Yeah, it kind of hurts me that it is that expensive. I would have loved that the Love is True award to be only 20 coins. That way we can actually use it. But it's okay. Thank you, Jem, for being willing to give so much love. Burp trolls are back. Have they ever left? I remember looking at different ways of humans having inhabited the earth and in being compared to different organisms or cells. I showed a brain cell beside a large city, and the shapes were very similar. And even, if you look at just galaxy structures or clusters, they also look like neuronal activity or neuronal structures. It's fractals all the way up and down, Ninja Nanner. Be honest and tell you, when we get more mods, we can add more streamers. We simply can't keep up, and we're working and building the team. Thank you so much, Aunt B, for letting our friend know. More we can, space and more. Zoe is yelling at the Hadi does. Please correct me on the spelling. I don't know the spelling either. Hadi does. It looks good to me. I think maybe one D in the middle, but that's the only thing that I can think might be different. So I need to join the campaign for mods. Yes, please, Mindful Enneagram, please join to be a mod. On my second cup of coffee. No way, I'm leaving ML stream today. Absolutely brimming of energy. Thank you for sending all that love. I appreciate it, Katie. I'm excited to see it grow. I'd love to find a path to share love as well on the stream one day. I hope to in the next few years. Isaac, as we continue growing, as we are allowed more and more abundance and freedom, we will be able to. Thank you, my friend. Hey there, Scarmelia is here in the emergency room with my middle child. Friends, like, please, like Scarmelia, and I have said this to you friends before, if you're going to share something like that, please share in the same message, what's wrong, because I get super worried. She's been vomiting for the past 13 hours. I hope she gets better, my friend. I'm scrolling down trying to find more information. I hope she gets better. Thank you so much for being here with us. We're sending you love and strength in this moment. Now, how far did I scroll back? I've lost my place. Decided to see it grow. Howe. Vessel is playing with Pippi. He has a little toy. Bit hard in the emergency room. Vomiting. Sending you so much love, Scarmelia. You won't regret it. So the fact that you've said it again, like if you join the Patreon, one of the biggest things that you'll be allowed is just access to all of my daily works of art, and access to marijuana plants, access to kalimba play sets, access to stuff behind the scenes information if you want it. Absolutely the way to do it. That's how I'm approaching it as well. I know I'd like to stream someday to blast out love as well. Just waiting on life to show me my avenue. Hayward Hill will continue to spread and bloom in time. Oh yes it will. And you are a part of that now, Isaac. Part of the beautiful flower in this fractaling tree. Blessed poor baby. And you too. My lips are getting dry. Woo! Today's stream. Poor baby. Truly give me chills and bumps. Thank you for confirming this perfect timing in life. Thank you for being here with us on Peace so you can experience that timing. Meld, I'd love nothing more than to allow you to stay in my home and enjoy Elden Ring for as long as you want, friend. Genuinely, you're welcome and courage. My home is open always. Isaac, that invitation gets extended right back to you as well. Thank you so much, Brother Bay. I love that. Random, but my grandma Nana calls Jill bumps swan puffs. That is interesting. Swan puffs. I've never heard that one before. Goosebumps, swan puffs. I get it. I get it. Maybe she's just like your grandma's just a quirky person. I like that. I've never heard that, but I love it. Same. Sending you so much love. Experienced this one time as a child. Not sure if it was the same, but multiple days of vomiting, reaching out, I can't help it all. I've had that as well. For me, like I had these dry, like I purged everything that was in my body, and then my body was like, okay, you still need to purge, and I would heave and heave and heave, and then like 6 heaves in a row, then there would be this glob of yellow coming out. And I'm sorry, it's a little bit of a yikes, but and that yellow would like literally be like lava scorching my throat. It was horrible. I hope she gets taken care of and that they can help her on Scar Media. I enjoy Instagram and plan to post more often. Please do, my friend. Share that love. Chill bumps, goosebumps, goosebumps, swan puffs. A few months ago, I purged all social media besides Reddit. I found it didn't serve me. Because IG is more of inspiration and entertainment for me. Oh, I think it didn't serve me, but I do love that it serves so many. I feel Reddit is the one where I find the most perspective as well. And it's a little bit less, it's a little bit more look at these things than it is look at me. And it depends on what it is you want. If you want to connect with people, the only means that you have is to have these little windows into their lives. Instagram can be good, Facebook can be good, but it can also, cause a lot of turmoil in us if we feel like our lives aren't that way. I still use Facebook, but only for local communications and 12 years of memories. I enjoy looking on. Instagram is more of inspiration and entertainment for me. Someone say a cracked squirrel appears. Jim is like, what you've summoned me. The awesome to hear. So glad you can connect like that. And such a pleasure to look back at that. Genuinely amazing. So much perspective. Seeing where you were and like having Facebook sometimes prompt you as well. Like on that note, Google was it? I think Microsoft Drive, something Drive, OneDrive or something like that. Recently it was like, hey dude, here are some memories, and it showed me a bunch of pictures of my ex, and I was like, oh thanks, thanks, OneDrive. I really appreciate it. And it was basically the same day that I was talking about her in stream as well, so it felt so synchronous. I used to be a gamer like you, then I took an arrow to the knee. Man, I like your gun. I spent so many hours playing Skyrim as well, so that's like nostalgia bumped in me in and of its own. Sweet little girls. I used to be a gamer, then EA happened. It was like, oh wait, dude, you wanna win? How about you give me your credit card? Last time I was a gamer, I was a ladder guy. I just been nothing but a letdown the last few years as well. And Ubisoft, like being a big Assassin's Creed fan when those games initially came out, Ubisoft was like something that I really admired. And then when Black Flag came out, and that one mission where you had to go from house to house to go and let people know that the British were coming or whatever, and it is the exact same NPC in the exact same house, just in a different location. I was like, dude. I didn't mean to reply to myself. No, that's cool. That's completely cool. I'm gonna do this. Can be if you want to be a parasite to the earth, but you can also be in symbiosis with it. Hey Fash, it's nice to have you here, my friend. Just passing by, saying hi to everyone. Already at 12 a.m. here. I got to work. Thank you for joining us, Chris. So nice to have you here, my friend. Whoa, still going. Props, Mel. Speak of inactive, active. I've mopped and done several loads of dishes, cleaned the coffee maker, da 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 da, etc, 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 etc. During the stream, I'm done doing for now. This chatting has led me so much motivation today, and thank you for the energy, Ninja Peach. Thank you for being so active, my friend. For choosing to be active, so that you can literally create comfort in your home, for your loved ones, for your beautiful husband, and for your wonderful little daughter. Thank you. Genuinely, I appreciate you so much for taking that action. Thank you, friends, for joining me in this moment as well. Makes me so happy to see Pepe and Eva play. Eva was so sad when Kiki passed away. Just seeing them play with one another is bringing joy to my heart. Pepe is so much smaller than Eva. You're getting a roll, like actually getting a roll. Okay, friends, I have to prepare for a important meeting. Whew! Wish me luck. Thank you for being in this moment with me for as long as you were, for sharing this space and this time, for taking action and showing up. I appreciate you so much, more than I can ever say, more than I need to. I love you. I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you, friends, again tomorrow, and then the day after that, and the day after that, into infinitum. Love is true. I love you. Goodbye, everyone.